It's Jimmy Uso's season! Jimmy Uso crowned himself the Tribal Chief Friday on SmackDown, and the new Babe Ruth of the Bloodline called his shot and Superkicked Roman Reigns at Night of Champions. Bah! This is your new Tribal Chief, and we acknowledge Chief Jimmy in the PWB community. You the real Tribal Chief.
You the real MVP.
Chief Jimmy should be getting all those Jason Momoa roles when he crosses over. Chief Jimmy should be holding those 2 belts, which the streets tell me are gonna turn into 1 belt RIP Universal title. The man they call Playoff Jimmy is 1 game from a historic tank job after the Heat somehow lost a game that the Celtics choked away. The Heat are revolutionizing what it means to choke, and you wanna talk to me about Playoff Jimmy? Is this your king? Chief Jimmy, the new Playoff Jimmy. Give me that! Jimmy's so cold, he could be an AEW ticket. We need to acknowledge Chief Jimmy as a tribal chief because Playoff Chief Jimmy is the key to keeping this Bloodline storyline fresh. Jimmy been shoulda cooked, by the way. Remember Nobody's Bitch Jimmy? When he returned to the Bloodline the way Tupac walked out of that courtroom? Jimmy came back a goon, bruh. Heartless. Peel his chest back and it'd be emptier than Double or Nothing. Couldn't nobody tell Jimmy shit. He had that dog in him and he was nobody's bitch. But through gaslighting and garden variety abuse, Roman Reigns was able to manipulate Jimmy Uso into loyalty. And that was the end of that character for a while. Listen, every member of the Bloodline brings something to the table. There are no weak links. But Jimmy Uso has been a supporting character for almost a year now. Jimmy was the other Uso trying to keep the peace when Jay was wilding out, bucking up to Roman.
I don't give a damn what the Tribal Chief say.
Hugging Sammy. Turning on Sammy. Jay got a whole mini-series out this bitch, and it was lovely, but now it's time to give Jimmy Uso the layers that they gave Jay. Shit, Paul Heyman had his own storyline arc before they finally got back to Jay. But good things come to those who wait, and now Jimmy is king. The best news out of all of this is that it seems like WWE does have a long-term plan for the Bloodline. Vince McMahon floating around like a nuclear weapon will always be a concern, but you're now starting to see the direction. WWE is telling the story of the fall of Rome in Reigns. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. WWE already told you its long-term plan for the Bloodline. One by one, every member of the Bloodline will leave Roman Reigns. Sammy gone, Jimmy next, then Jay, probably with Jimmy, and finally Solo, probably with Heyman. And when Paul Heyman is managing Solo Sikoa, it's over for everybody, except Cody Rhodes. Shake it off. Let's go, Cody! Speaking of the GOAT, by WrestleMania 40, where it will be Rhodes versus Reigns 2, it'll be 1-on-1. And in a fair fight, Roman will fall. Just like Cody Rhodes said back in March. Let's go, Cody! Roman Reigns' kids are growing up, and now they talking back to their daddy. Sounds like they were raised in a white neighborhood. If Roman Reigns gets yeeted out of his own bloodline, and the new bloodline becomes a brotherhood of Jimmy Uso, Jay Uso, and Solo Uso, shit, maybe 2024 could see Roman Reigns going back to his own brotherhood to fight them. One way or another, a Shield reunion seems inevitable with WWE teasing a Rollins-Reigns feud down the line. And whether it's Braun Breaker or Dean Ambrose miraculously, Bloodline versus the Shield would be lit. Just think about how many tickets you can sell just by saying Bloodline versus Shield. A lot more tickets than they sell in AEW. Come home, Dean. I'll never understand why WWE didn't pull the trigger on Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39. You'll never convince me that that was the right decision. But I also said I still had faith in WWE's storytelling with Triple H in charge. No, I don't think he's the modern day Lex Luger. And just like I said when Sami Zayn lost to Roman Reigns, I'm gonna keep that same energy and say I trust WWE's storytelling under Triple H. And I will let this play out, even if Mustache Vince is hovering around after WWE sold to Endeavor. And the Bloodline has been so good that I'll watch another season before they end the series like a Samoan succession. Jimmy Uso has the Rock now, and he ain't about to fumble the bag like the Heat. Damn, Jimmy Butler out here catching strays on this app for no reason. The Jimmy Uso story will give us the Usos versus Roman and Solo, and then maybe Roman versus Jimmy, possibly by SummerSlam. I fucks with it. So put your ones in the motherfucking sky for your tribal chief, Jimmy Uso. Forget all these movie comparisons. This is a comic book series because the Bloodline is churning out one superhero after another, and they're all about to go to war. Check out what Hulk Hogan told me about Roman Reigns and subscribe. Who's the real tribal chief? Tell me in the comments.